Arena in Oakland, California. The home team overcame a 20-point halftime deficit on Sunday, keeping their playoff record unblemished.
Bay Area!
That comeback due in large part to the 19-point third quarter by that guy right there, Steph Curry. He put up 40 total in game one.
Whose little jacket is that?
In New York, one lucky team will have those balls bounce on their favorite night and win the #1 pick in the NBA draft lottery. We will take you there live when the results are revealed. Some people are very stressed out about that. Welcome inside Oracle Arena alongside Chauncey Billups, Jalen Rose, and Michael Wilbon. I'm Michelle Beadle. This is a special, an extra special NBA Countdown tonight because not only are we going to get you prepared for Game 2 back here of the Western Conference Finals, but as I mentioned, we're going to take you out to New York, NBA Draft Lottery, and find out if a team, in fact, will have a chance to change their franchise forever. But first, we have to talk about, you know what's coming, the most scrutinized closeout in NBA history. Kawhi Leonard sprained his left ankle in the third quarter of Game 1 as he landed on the foot of Warriors center Zaza Pachulia. He himself said the play by Zaza wasn't dirty, but Greg Popovich felt otherwise.
Well, Michelle, obviously there has been so much debate and opinion expressed on this issue. From my perspective, I can only tell you that I saw things that I've never seen in all my years covering the NBA from both sides of the equation. The San Antonio Spurs, whether it's Danny Green or LaMarcus Aldridge, said, Pop is speaking for us. It essentially seemed to me that they had been instructed to direct all comments about this to the head coach, Greg Popovich. On the other side, the Golden State Warriors at their practice facility yesterday, when the players were made available, including Draymond Green and Zaza Pachulia, before they spoke with the media, a member of the PR staff of the Golden State Warriors had a little bit of an extended conversation, almost as if there was some coaching going on. Remember, these are guys who meet with the media 2 and 3 times per day. It's something I've never seen. I don't know how to interpret it. Were the Golden State Warriors making sure they were paying respect to Greg Popovich? Were they giving him a wide berth? I don't know the answer. It's just something I've never seen before. Back to you.
Thanks, Doris. Obviously, that was Doris Burke. We are not about to rob you, though, of some pop moments. So now, here is Greg Popovich.
A two-step lead with your foot closeout is not appropriate. It's dangerous. It's unsportsmanlike. It's just not what anybody does to anybody else. And this particular individual has a history with that kind of action. But this is crap. And because he's got this history, it can't just be, oh, it was inadvertent. He didn't have intent. Who gives a damn about what his intent was? You ever hear of manslaughter? You still go to jail, I think, when you're texting and you end up killing somebody. But you might not have intended to do that. All I care is what I saw. All I care about is what happened.
Any follow-ups? That was the part where it was lightened up.
Well.
Anything else?
What is this whole thing about coaching? Coaching players, what they say, veteran players? I live in Washington. This sounds like the White House all of a sudden, where you have to have your staff come out and figure out what to say before you say it. This is strange, is it not?
It's the million-dollar question in and around town. Was it on purpose? Does Pop right to rip into Zaza?
He is right to rip into Zaza. As you guys know, I actually had an incident like this in 2000 where I did a similar play to Kobe Bryant.
Right.
I wasn't asked about it after the game. I wasn't flagrant fouled during the series. Nobody even knew that I intentionally did it. And so once he scored 81 against my Toronto Raptors, I felt like the basketball karma caught up with me and I could relieve myself of the guilt of trying to deprive Kobe Bryant of 5 rings. It would be nice if I had 1, but that's another subject for another day. But again, we have a term for this in basketball. It's reckless, but it's also flagrant. And that's what it should be called when it happens. And I think it's going to be addressed in the offseason.
And I agree. I think Pop was absolutely right. You know, of course, you can only imagine how ticked off he is. Obviously, we've seen it. But his franchise player, and not only that, his chances to maybe win this series needed help walking to the locker room. So, of course, he's mad. He talked about, prior incidents that's happened with Zaza Pachulia, repeat offender. All of that being said, to me, I just don't think there was malicious intent on the play.
Right.
It's a tough play to call. It really is. I mean, if you're contesting an offensive player, you have to get close to contest that shot. Now, it's a tough call. I mean, I know you got a lot of experience in it. I've been on both sides of that as well.
Yes.
But it's a tough play.
It's got to go.
You can't judge his intent, but I'll say this.
Right.
This is a word that hasn't been used. It was done on purpose.
You think?
How about that? Because he stepped twice, and then did you see how he responded to the refs? Like he didn't know. You didn't just know that the guy landed on your foot?
Well, see, to me, we take all this out of play by getting rid of that play. You know, at one point not too many years ago in the NFL, they said you can't hit the quarterback after the ball is released. And people said, oh, no, you can never legislate that. Yes, you can. The NFL's done it. You can never get rid of the neighborhood play, the violent slide at second base. Baseball got rid of it. You can't let the catcher, you can't say to him, no, you can't block home plate. All of these are plays in sports we've grown accustomed to for 100 years. They got rid of that. This play has to go. You can't have your greatest assets out there at a time when all sports are talking about safety for players. You cannot have your greatest assets at risk. The union charts and competition committee, rules committee, all of them have to take this on and get rid of it.
It will.
But how do you do that? Because he's still gone.
I just don't know how you get rid of that play.
Right.
I really don't. I mean, as a defender, you're taught to be close to that guy, contested shots, maybe not block the shot, but be there to contest it. I don't know how you get rid of the play if you can't be close enough.
Can't come down. You can't put your foot in his airspace. He's got to be able to come down.
Well, that's already a rule. It's a foul, though.
And they don't enforce it.
It's a foul, though. And they caught a foul.
Yeah, but most times, don't they let that go? How often do we see that play? And you're right.
If a guy goes down
defenders
like that,
and great defenders are up into shooters like that, particularly in this three-point shooting era.
Yeah.
But
I talk about my experience with that play not because it's cute or because it's cool, but because it's fact.
Right.
He did that on purpose.
Can I ask you that if it was anyone else on the Warriors and not Zaza Pachulia, are we having this same conversation?
We are, because he stepped, stopped, and then stepped and act like he didn't know the guy landed on his foot and ran the other way like, well, the foul is on me.
Well, he's got a history. I mean, there was a
Yes, he
headbutt.
does.
He had a scuffle with Kevin Garnett back when he was like early in the
arm.
league.
Who didn't have a scuffle with KG?
There you go. We'll have much
Making a
more
dirty play doesn't make you a
on the
dirty
impact
player.
of Kawhi's injury.